Global warming is what happens when you add junk into the atmosphere, mostly out of our tailpipes and smokestacks, and it blocks some of the energy exchange between the Earth and space, trapping heat near the Earth's surface.
In order to understand global warming, we have to understand the greenhouse effect. A greenhouse works by sunlight coming through the glass of the greenhouse and getting absorbed by the plants and the soil. The absorption of that light turns that energy from the sun into heat, and the temperature inside the greenhouse heats up. If that heat could just escape, it would be very cold inside the greenhouse. But what happens is the glass insulates the greenhouse and actually traps some of that heat, making the temperature significantly warmer than it would be if that glass wasn't there. The same exact thing happens in our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is transparent to visible light from the sun, and so the sunlight comes through and gets absorbed by the surface of the Earth. The surface heats up, and instead of that heat just escaping to space, the greenhouse gases, in particular water vapor and carbon dioxide, trap some of that heat as it leaves the surface, kind of like putting a blanket on us at night.
The concern isn't with the natural greenhouse effect. The concern is that mankind is changing it.
What humans are doing is to add greenhouse gases to the atmosphere by processes that were never known in pre-industrial times. The dramatic change is the increase in emission of carbon dioxide due to industrial activities.
We're adding extra greenhouse gas to the atmosphere by burning coal, oil, and gas. Kind of like we're adding more and more blankets all the time.
Human activities are thickening the greenhouse blanket and threaten to make Earth warmer than it's been in millions of years.
In the parts of the United States that contain the modern cities of Cleveland, Detroit, New York, in the northern tier, this is the difference between a nice day and having a mile of ice over your head. Keep that in mind when you look at this fact. Carbon dioxide, having never gone above 300 parts per million, here is where CO2 is now. Way above where it's ever been as far back as this record will measure. Now, if you'll bear with me, I want to really emphasize this point. The crew here has tried to teach me how to use this contraption here, so if I don't kill myself, I'll... It's already right here. Look how far above the natural cycle this is, and we've done that. But ladies and gentlemen, in the next 50 years, really in less than 50 years, it's going to continue to go up. When some of these children who are here are my age, here's what it's going to be in less than 50 years. You've heard of off the charts. Within less than 50 years, it'll be here. There's not a single fact or date or number that's been used to make this up that's in any controversy. The so-called skeptics look at this and they say, so? That seems perfectly okay.
Certain people that are in power are doing everything they can to cover up this issue and hide it from the general public. Reports on the MSNBC stated that the Bush administration personally pressured half of 300 scientists in 7 agencies working for the government to eliminate the words climate change or global warming from their reports. One former climate change official testified that the administration edited global warming out of a report to Congress. The House Oversight Committee was denied documents on climate change from the Bush administration.
We know that the White House possesses documents that contain evidence of an attempt by senior administration officials to mislead the public by injecting doubt into the science of global warming and minimizing the potential dangers.
Sometime this century, the day will arrive when the human influence on the climate will overwhelm all other natural factors. If nothing is done, the 21st century will see global warming that could lead to conditions the planet has not seen in 40 million years. We are now the weather makers. Human-caused pollution in the form of ozone-destroying chemicals and greenhouse gases has altered not only global weather patterns, but increased the potential for extreme weather events. Over the past decade, the world has seen the most powerful El Niño ever recorded, the most devastating hurricane in 200 years, the hottest European summer on record, which killed 26,000 people in 2 months, the first South Atlantic hurricane ever, and one of the worst storm seasons ever experienced in Florida. With 1 out of every 5 living things on this planet committed to extinction by levels of greenhouse gases that will accumulate over the next few decades, we are now reaching a global climate tipping point. Climate change is interconnected across the planet. A rapidly warming Indian Ocean leads to a weakening of conditions necessary to creating life-giving monsoon rains in Africa, while a pool of warm oceanic water forming over the western Pacific contributes to freezing temperatures on the eastern coast of North America and several droughts in the prairies. Some points that other people and scientists are saying to disprove global warming. For the past century and a half, Earth has been warming. Coincidentally, or perhaps not so coincidentally, during the same time period, our sun has been brightening, becoming more active, sending out more radiation. It is predicted that the sun's activity will die down in 20 to 40 years, which means that the planet will start to cool down again. Action being taken in the face of global warming. Prime Minister Tony Blair of England signed a bill promising to cut back Britain's greenhouse gases by 60% by the year 2050 and 26% by 2020. England is the first country to really set tough green targets. Some of the credit for action against global warming belongs to Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger of California. By signing the Global Warming Solution Act and supporting the construction of a large power plant under the mouth of the Golden Gate Bridge that will make 100% renewable energy created from the tides. Prime Minister Tony Blair stated on a video conference with Arnold Schwarzenegger that they have created hundreds of thousands of jobs in environmental technology and also made their economy stronger in a sustainable way. Whether you believe in global warming or not, this is a global issue in the world today. There is stacking evidence that proves global warming exists, and there is some evidence that proves it does not. Either way you look at it, we are all in this mess together, and the sooner we start fixing the problem, the better off we'll all be. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed our presentation.